All right, here we go. Let's pull this thing up here. Let me scroll this up. I'm not going to read all the patch notes, just the most frugal ones. Let me close that right there too. It's a lot of extra. Okay, so here we go. Some music to my ratio. We'll turn it down just a tad more. But so when a player becomes flagged PvP, this whole like patch, we all knew it was coming, but it's a big patch. You know what I mean? A PvM, a PvP overall. Some pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. Already at 50 likes. Yeah, we'll have to stop the patch notes once we have to start the next giveaway, which I'm keeping an eye on it too. But when a player becomes flagged in PvP and takes damage from creatures, their armor rating will reduce damage as normal. Still factoring AR bonus with aspect armor. So that part's really cool. So basically, if it's being attacked by a creature, you're going to keep your armor rating, but when it's a player, it doesn't adjust it with the factoring in. So that's very helpful because, you know, that's going to help with like your opportunists and things like that. But, you know, I mean, it can go either way. You know what I mean? Some people probably love this. Some people hate it because opportunists is just part of the game, right? Or so they say. But, you know, we'll see how it plays out. I'm excited to kind of see how it plays out. I'm going to skip the example on that. Same with like swing speed and stuff. It looks like it's going to factor in when you're attacking a monster if you're flagged in PvP, but not if you're attacking a creature. Which there was this really like interesting thing that could happen on like contested bosses, right? Like maybe you're fighting the dudes, and then you send one guy over there to just like tag everybody that's fighting the boss and pull them out of aspect to really reduce their stats and things like that. So I mean it's a tactic, but it also kind of sucks. Or you just tag people, pull them out of aspect, watch them die because they thought they could kill something, and then they realize that their aspect and shit's not working, and they realize they can't. One thing that this does kind of scare me personally for, right? And I'm skipping through all this because we all kind of, it's just like this works, this doesn't, this works, this doesn't. It all, you know what I mean? But I don't want to say it scares me, but you know, one big tactic that I personally do is I steal from people, right? And then I run them through a plethora of monsters, right? They attack me and then they pull themselves out of aspect and they run through monsters, right? Well, they lose all their aspect. Well, now they keep all their aspect, right? Except for certain things like the void regain and other things like that. So that tactic will still work, but it's going to be far less effective than it would be normally for me. So, you know, I've been saying it for a long time that I wish I had eval and med on my thief, and I think we're going to have to do it, guys. I think we're going to have to do it. Let's see here. Aspects in PvP, yeah, I mean, this is just reiterating exactly what it was saying. Players can see which of these effects will be deactivated for each aspect armor by clicking on PvP mechanics. So it'll basically show you like, hey, this is going to go away if you flag in PvP, which obviously for blood would make sense that stats increase, because you can't have people running around with like 130 hit points in PvP. Everybody would have max level blood, and they'd be PvPing with that all the time. You know, higher mana, higher dex, higher hit points, all that good stuff. So they keep their aspect, but so do you. Exactly. Yeah. Which the thing though, charging rhinos, is that when you know this, but when somebody's chasing me, the monster will start their aggro on me, but then if they're right about like, I don't know, the sweet spot's like 3 to like 6 or 7 tiles further back from me, well, the monster may start as aggro, but remember there's like a 3-second delay, and so it'll do its burst on the person following. And so it's a really easy tactic to just run them right through monsters, and if they're in that sweet spot, the monster dumps on them and they do all the work for me. So whether my aspect's working or not, you know what I mean, it's cool, but you know, so okay, so I'm gonna skip all this because like I said, it's all this stuff. Now here's a cool thing though. War Aspect. War Aspect is a new aspect that players can only unlock and gain experience for it through PvP events, tournaments, and factions. So you won't be able to turn on War Aspect, go down to Shadowspire Cathedral, and leveled up to 14. No. The way it's going to work is doing all those PvP events. And tournaments too, that's excellent. Okay. And factions, which is the upcoming system. War Aspect functions similarly to other aspects, however, the means of unlocking, leveling, and boom. War Aspect cores and extracts through PvP tournaments. Players do not have to have War Aspect gear equipped in order to gain the experience. Okay, so no matter what, it'll go. So I could be running around in Void Armor and in a town struggle, and I'll still gain experience for War Aspect. Got it. But you can't do it through killing monsters. Okay. 1 War Distill and 3 cores for 250. Man, I'm telling you, dude. That's insane. For those about to pwn, we salute you. Yes, we do. There you go, Lippy. Welcome, Lippy. How are you? How are you, Lippy? Let's see here. Warcry increases melee and spell damage by 15%. Plus 1.5% times tier level for 60 seconds. So here's a question. This is still like a PvM aspect, or is this work for PvP? I don't know that. I know provides melee and spell damage bonus and damage resistance, and chance every second to gain 2 hits, 2 stamina, and 1 mana. Is this up here? War Aspect. Deactivated. Chance on step to restore, but it does give you a damage bonus and resistance bonus in PvP. Okay. Alright. Alright. I mean, I don't PvP enough to be able to weigh in on that, so I won't. Same for every other aspect in PvP? Do they all do that and I just skipped it? It does. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. I mean, some have damage bonus, some don't. I see. Yeah. Okay. Excuse me. I probably shouldn't have skipped past all that, right? I skipped past the answer to my question. I was like, we're gonna skip through this because that's like, no, it was actually important. I should have at least looked at it, right? But does it stack on your other aspect like Void if flagged in PvP? Well, I would imagine it'd be half and half. You know what I mean? Like, so the well, I mean, the armor is the one that's giving you that stuff, right? So if I go up to blood here, it's the armor that's giving PvP mechanics. But the weapons aren't going to give any PvP mechanics, are they? No, they won't. It'll just be armor. So it won't stack on your other aspects like Void because you can only have one PvP aspect on at a time. A lot change, contested ocean. Okay, here we go. Eldritch aspect armor. That's pretty cool. Devi _ thank you for the follow over there in the world of Twitch, man. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Appreciate that greatly. No longer provides a chance to avoid spell interruption. Cool. Now it provides a mana refund, max cap increase of 2% plus 0.75 per tier. So this whole thing right here with Eldritch really changes a lot, and especially too, I saw on here wrestling does the same. It'll help with instead of charge chance, it'll actually help with mana refund chance or cap or something. We'll look at it in a second. But either way, like I mean, I'm glad I've been leveling Eldritch, but it really changes a lot. You know, Eldritch is always been great for the book for mana, but now it gives your cap higher, and so it makes you kind of wonder, like, which is going to give you more mana, right? And, you know, Eldritch also increases your spell damage significantly per mana spent, right? So the more mana you're spending, and then the more mana you're refunding, it just kind of like convolges onto each other and just gets all crazy. So I'm really curious to see how some of these people just start decimating with all that. I don't know if there's a cap on the spell damage bonus. We'll find out. But man, it makes me want to, oh, dare I say it, Make an inscribe spell damage character. I just hate the idea of carrying scrolls around, man. I hate it. I hate it. It's terrible. I feel like too much stuff interferes with the PvP. I used to love running around naked owning people. Yeah, I'm curious how it plays out too, man. I'm curious how it plays out too. Coyote, too soon, bro. Too soon. All right, let's see here. Chance to ignore weapon finisher cooldown. Or discipline aspect. Amish will like this one. He's been a big caveat for discipline forever. Disleaver, what's up, man? How you doing, buddy? All right. No longer has separate melee damage for 10 seconds after using mana. And is the party aspect? Yeah. And damage resistance bonus for 10 seconds after using mana. And now provides damage and resistance after using mana, which increases both melee and okay, yeah. Now provide chance to ignore weapon finisher cooldown. Ooh, that's cool. So you could actually do finishers back to back instead of the like 60 seconds or whatever. Bro, I'm excited to see how that pairs with ooh, but you know what? Yeah, I want to see how that goes up against blood, right? So maybe finishers happen after 30%, is that correct? Like 30% life left, is that correct? So maybe you go blood from 50 to 30, switch to discipline 30 to 0. I don't know. I'm just guessing. You know what I mean? I'd like to see how that plays out. I'd like to see how that plays out, for sure. That'd be really cool. Here we go. Let's shout out this honky right here. Old Dorian. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. I don't even know what server that is. But I love him either way. Dorian, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. All right, so this is really cool. I'm really glad they did this because it's raised the skill cap and shelter to 80, right? And so now people can start in shelter. They could literally stay in shelter all the way up to 80, get their codex, and even work on their codex while they're in shelter if they really wanted to. I wouldn't really suggest that, but it is an option. But I mean, basically their codex level right there. So that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Magic Resist Guild. This one was really weird. I'm not going to spend too much time on it right now, but I'm sure it'll make for some interesting stuff, right? So you e-bolt yourself, and you gain Spell Siphon, which is damage, right? So basically, I'm energy bolting myself, which is kind of cool if you really think about it. I'm feeding myself with energy, and I'm going to take some damage from it, right? Just like Evil Omen. But then I'm going to shoot out more power. It's like a fucking Kameya that you, like, you sacrifice some of your hit points. It's cool as fuck, dude. It's pretty cool, dude. I think it's awesome. It's 33%. Okay, yeah, there you go. Here we go. A more crazy. What's up, baby? And then Barely There. We were just talking about you, Barely There. We were just talking about you. We found out that this is the 90s porn music. We gotta change it. We found out that if you become a sergeant in the Marine Corps, you become as attractive as you are Barely There. How are you? How are you, Amor and Barely There? Hope you guys are doing well. Let's see here. But that's cool. So I guess you can do it twice. System message notification. Well, I mean, we'll look at it. Energy Bolt, which increases our spell siphon by 12%, and then a max of 25. That's crazy to me, dude. I mean, that's really cool. Really cool addition to it. I mean, just imagine e-bolting yourself twice, and then a boss does an AoE, and then you die, right? That's gonna be a real thing, though. It's gonna be a real thing. Really cool. Sweet. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. It is. That's a very good point. You can get the game. I mean, you can even, learn the player progression systems, all of them, because you get to 80 skill. Good point, man. Good point. I like it. Okay, here's the cool thing. Now, this does break the build that I was thinking about playing around with, but it wouldn't have ever worked unless you had like 30 points, right? But it says wrestling will no longer provide a charged spell chance, which is basically a crit. Wrestling will now provide mana refund chance when casting spells. Now, wrestling with your fists will no longer have a... Yeah, that's just for sound, but that's pretty cool because, again, it's going to add more mana refund. So, once again... It really cool. It's cool because if you think about it, what it's doing there is it gives you another reason to take wrestling. Whereas used to on a summoner, the only reason you would really take wrestling is to defend yourself in PvP, right? The charge spell chance was nice, but no one really ever picked up wrestling for that, right? I mean, if you did, you did. Cool. I'm sure somebody did. Sure, someone did. But now, not only is it going to help you, block in PvP, but it's also going to give you more mana refund chance. So I think what's something really interesting that's happening right here, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I really think that they're trying to, like, I don't want to say even the playing field, but yeah, kind of even the playing field without breaking any one side. You know what I mean? Like make it to where the PvP templates, you can go in and you're obviously going to be more strong because you should be more strong if you're in a PvP template versus a PvM template. But PvM templates are not so glass cannon against PvP templates. They can still defend each other themselves, right? Because, I mean, now at this point, picking up wrestling is really not a bad idea on any caster. Any caster, it's not a bad idea. And so that's going to help you with interrupts against Dexers and even spellcasters. And then the Magic Reflect, you can cast on yourself now to increase your spell damage. I mean, we'll see how that actually plays out in your damage per second, because you got to think that's 2 spells. That's what 6 level spells, so that's 3 seconds. Could be wrong my math there. I don't know. Of casting damage you're not doing, but you're doing to yourself just to get 25% more damage, which might be worth it. I don't know. I haven't played with it. It's really interesting though, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. I really am. Not too bad, like the patch from what I've seen so far. No, I like it too, man. You think like, here's the deal, right? Let's say half of this is just complete bullshit, and the other half is pretty cool. I think most of it's cool, right? I do. But the thing is that Outlands isn't afraid to try things and switch things and turn templates completely upside down and give us more to play with and pick at. And I think that's what keeps people like me, honestly, keeps me engaged, because it's like, oh shit, that template doesn't work as well anymore. Now, what if we did this, right? And like shit like this excites me. This right here really excites me, because I'm like, as we're talking about it, you guys can probably sense the excitement I'm getting, but like my head is just going with template ideas and stuff like that. And I think that's cool as shit, man, because a lot of games it's just like, oh, people like this, don't change it, they're gonna riot, you know what? And then what do? They change it, people riot, and no one's just like, okay, cool, man, that's what we did, get over it, you know what I mean? And then it ends up working out pretty cool, right? Let's be honest, it all ends up working out pretty cool. I mean, the server's still growing, right? 25-year-old wizard game, still growing. Anyways, defensive barding only works when a player is flagged in PvP. So that's pretty cool, man, because bards were basically getting an extra 200 skill points, or 80, really, just for nothing, right? And so now it should only work for when they're flagged in PvP. I like that. This is cool, the alchemy thing, because you don't have to have a potion or a shield unequip. It won't disarm it. I can't steal people's shields anymore. And then also two-handed weapons. That kind of sucks for me, but whatever. But it's still pretty cool. But then also damage from explosion pots. This makes me happy because my good friend Monarch has been throwing purple potions on his water mage since the beginning of this server, dude. Guarantee you, if there were server rankings, he would be number 1 on purple potions thrown. Guaranteed. You will still steal a lot of shit because they won't just have 80 points in alchemy. Exactly. 100%. Not everybody's going to have 80 points in alchemy. But it would be cool, I think if I had a Dexter, I would do 80 points in Alchemy, for sure. But, I mean, I say that, though, right? Would I? I don't know. You could or you couldn't, right? And then it also throws the question of, well, no, you'd have to do telekinesis. But I don't know. There's just a lot of weird, like, again, I'm thinking out loud stuff. Anyways, let's keep moving. Otherwise, I'll get stuck here like that potion. I always ran 80. That's crazy. All right, reactive armor. These, they're cool, but I don't personally see myself using any of these in the Wizard Grimoire. Similar to, like, I didn't really use. I mean, I played around with them on the Meteor Swarm and Earthquake. I think it's great, and I hope they continue to add more and more spells to the Wizard Grimoire as the game progresses. But basically, it's like once it breaks, it gives you, or for the Magic Reflect, it gives you a more damage reflection or whatever. But the thing is if you really think about it, if you're a caster, you've got pets. Although there is a change that's further down here, which may be a reason for you not to have pets, which may give you a reason to think about picking this up. Yeah, again, I'm thinking out loud as I'm talking. So it's pretty cool stuff, man. I'm pretty excited about all those now that I think about it. I am going to skip the Strangeland stuff. Sorry, guys. I know some of you guys are real big into Strangelands. But Mastery Chain Links. This one's cool. You guys know Are You Kiddin'? In fact, the thumbnail today is of Are You Kiddin's house, the Arcane Academy. But anyways, Mastery Chain Links, they added what you guys may have seen on test, spell damage when no followers. And they gave it a Slayer link percentage, which is super cool. So I'm really excited to see more people. I've seen a few people running around there with no pets and just kiting and doing the deal. I think that's really cool. I'm excited to see more Provo mages. Provo Mage, I think, will be fucking badass with that. Spell damage with no followers. I almost wonder if it should have been better with spell damage with no followers, just 0.25% more than a Slayer link. No, probably not. But I don't know. Either way, figure it out. So excited about a Mace Dex or Alky? Yeah, that's right. Points were already tight in the Grimoire. Yes, exactly, Charging Rhinos. 100%. They really were. Mr. Brightside, what's up, man? How you doing, buddy? Hope my Doc Master's been helping you out some. First need to test if it works. Awesome. I don't think it will go because of mana cap. Yeah. I mean, dude, I don't know, Vlad. I've seen a lot of no follower people. Not a lot. I'm gonna say like 3. And it's a lot of fun. And then if you do Provo too, I mean, they become your pets. But I don't know, man. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. I really liked Are You Kiddin's idea of rather than summoning pets, you summon auras, so to speak. So, anyways. Contested boss, like you were saying, there's really no rush to run out there. Blessed, hidden, and frozen in place. I haven't been doing boating at all in a long time, man. I'll be honest. I mean, I jumped on and I boated on stream after I was starting to get back into it. I did a few societies and then I just was, I don't know, man. I didn't stick with it. I miss it. But do I though? I don't know. I was just like, I'd rather be stealing. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't mean it's not fun. I mean about Provo Mage without pets. Seems like mana will frustrate you. It depends on how high your aspect is in those links too, because like you can nuke the shit out of something and kill it really quick. Because you got to think, you got Necro, you poison something, you got Poison Strike, you got Pain Spike, you got all kinds of externals, you got tons of spell damage. I mean, you just obliterate stuff, and then you just med before you pull something else. Just make sure you're high mana. If you got high spell aspect chance, you got the Eldritch book. If you got Void, you got Void armor. But actually, Eldritch is super high mana refund now too. So, you could technically get, I don't know, like 70 mana refund chance now. I think, just off the top of my head, I think 70 mana. It could be higher. We could really go look at that in a second, but. Okay, so you can't summon multiple Omni bosses if you've already summoned one. So, you know, I think in the last Prestige race, Face summoned 3 or 4 Omnis at once and didn't kill any of them just to get the prestige of summoning them. But hey, you know, it all is fair, right? All is fair. I'll try a pure mage out. It's a lot of fun anymore. It really is. Jump on test, get like 15 links, get 0 links, and then get 30 links, and like play all 3 ways. And it's a lot of fun, man. It takes, you got to teleport. You got to be good with teleport. And yeah. There we go, the IDOC lottery, which is right here. Where did that go? Well, we'll go there. Band accounts, houses belonging to band accounts will no longer automatically decay or collapse. They will be held by staff and eventually placed into the public lottery. That's pretty cool. Stealthing. Man, I saw a lot of drama in general today. And it really leads me to question this, right? Based on the amount of people that had a lot to say about how shitty that change was right there, I just wonder, like, how many of those people that were upset, and if it was you and you do this, that's totally fine. I mean, it's Ultima. I don't give a fuck. Trust me, I used to screw the shit out of people. But what my point is that how many of the people that were saying like, oh, that's a terrible change, I can't believe it. Did you really even used to do that? Did it affect you at all? Probably not. Probably not. Because I can think of one person that I know, and I know a lot of fucking people in this game. I can think of one person that actively would try to get into people's houses and steal big shit like this. One person. But I saw a shit ton of people going ham about this particular change right here. It's like, did it affect you at all, man? No. It did not change your gameplay one bit. One bit. What's up, Vanilla? How you doing, baby? How you doing, baby? Oh, man. Yeah, Ouija. You know, I was thinking about that. That sucks. It does. But I also was thinking about, like, I think what they want to do is they want to make gold links more rare, right? And I get it, because they're supposed to be like the in-game thing. And I think they didn't even really expect the progression to go as quick as it did. But you know, people are gamers and they play MMOs, some people 15 hours a day or more, right? And I think they're trying to slow that down a little bit. I get it. It sucks, man. I'm in a guild and we do a shit ton of omnis. That's a shit ton less gold links. We raffle those off and stuff like that, and you pay a very low price for them and stuff. But so that's way less gold links that we'll actually be able to contribute or get from. But hey, there's still societies, right? Still societies. I had it done to me and it was great. It was really a fun interaction. Elemental, I don't think that's a fun interaction at all, but I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I'm playing. It affects vendor thieves too. Now all targets have to do is go inside. Because you can't stealth. I didn't even think about that, Coyote. I didn't even think about that. Wow. Wow, I didn't think about that. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I did not think about that. Yeah, I didn't think about that. What if... Okay, here's this. Now, and you know, and I'm nobody, but maybe this doesn't work if it's a public house, right? Like, if you have a public house, I don't think this should work. I think that if it's a public house, you should still be able to stealth in it. That's my take. But, I mean... if it's a private house, then yeah, okay, that's fine, because you don't got vendors. Because I totally get what you're saying, man. Like, stealing of vendors, I don't typically do it because I think it's personally boring. But I only steal in dungeons. Guys, check out Dennis. He's my good friend. I love you to death, buddy. Yeah. What about a public house? Was a popular compromise? Well, there you go. That's awesome. That's a. I'm sure they'll probably change it to that. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just guessing. If it was a popular compromise, I mean, that makes sense to me. I can't say they'll probably. I don't know, but I would personally hope, right? Just make sure that if you're going to release your shelf, that you turn your house to private, which then it screws people with vendor houses. But you know what, dude? It's a public house. It's a public house, man. I guess. I don't know. It does still break it if it's a public house? Yeah. I don't think it should. Personally, I don't think it should if it's a public house. I did not think about that. That's a very good point, man. All right. Guys, there's a lot here. I like the lottery thing. We got to do this giveaway. I mean, I get it. IDOCs and all this stuff. Let's check out the quivers. Look, that looks good. Great graphics. Sarapa. I don't know how you say. Trash bag. Looks great. I got one. Don't worry. Yeah. Faction stuff is looking fucking great. Alright, guys. Y'all ready to play the game? Shit. Let's play the game. Guys, we got a giveaway, actually. Let's do this giveaway.